Good morning. Good afternoon, I see us, boys. Boy. Little early for me. Well, while the stream gets warmed up, pour some hot water. Office is still cold. The afternoons are getting nice here, though. All right. Where did we leave off? Let's close a bunch of stuff. Close everything to the right. There we go. We have mutate. We were working on some tests for mutate. As I adjust my chair. Okay. There we go. What do we have here? We have a test context. We have our fake database page, a commit record, transaction chunk, and we send this in. We make a request using this and get a response. We need to validate by checking sled to see if the pages were saved correctly. And then we need to get the streaming working. I'm actually more concerned about the streaming because I think making some changes there is going to be important. But I don't think it's going to hurt to have these tests. Let's at least get a test in there for uh, saving the data. See, I don't have like a get database pages on there. We do have sled storage. And sled storage, does that have a parent swap? What's our outline? We have a get. I do like the idea of asking it directly. Swap, range, right? Put, get, etc. Morning, Xenocron. How are you? I could probably just get a range of everything. Kind of like that idea. So instead of something like that, we could just get the range and see the different keys that were inserted. And then for the different keys, we could check the values. How's it going? I am less sick than last time. I'm actually feeling much better. Thank you. Thank you for asking. The cat woke me up early today. So the stream's starting earlier than normal, which means we'll probably get a 2 hour stream today, because today I have to stop at 8, or have to stop for a meeting at 8 o'clock. So, enough time to be productive. How do I get all the keys? Like, I just want everything. That's an early meeting. Hey, 8 a.m. It's, yeah. Well, that's enough work talk. Let's get on to this. So we have our range keys. So I need a range. What could I do for a range here? I don't want it specific to any key. So I feel like I need to. If I do range keys, then it's not bound to the value type. If I do a range, I'm the right. Can I increase the font size over here? I know that I can independently. KV pair. Range keys first. Because certain keys should have been set. We want to ensure that extra keys are not set. We need a range. Or implements this for K. We're going to have to implement our own range. We got a keys. Scan key, database scan key. It's basically this without the state bits. It doesn't have to be so complex though. Essentially, we just want this for something. I don't know, what am I thinking? It's just. Okay, no, this is much easier than I'm making it out to be. Basically, I need shard 01, or excuse me, shard 00, and then shard 01. That should give me all of the keys. This is not correct because our shard here should be a vector. I would rather this be. You've never seen range bounds. Yeah. That's a good point, Museum. Essentially, all I really want is to have the start and the end of a range. So essentially, I just want a fancy, just a little wrapper around a vector. And good morning, Museum. See, it's like I don't even want that. Basically, I just want something here that is here. Let's adjust this. Basically, I want shard, which is shard 0, 0, dot, dot. I want this. And limit is none. Let's see. I do want that to be, is that inclusive? It doesn't actually matter there. I guess the dot dot syntax would work, but you wouldn't get a structural equal or be able to use it in a match. It's essentially just a start bound inbound pair from whatever syntax was used. Essentially, I just want this as a vector. Actually, just an array would be fine as well. What's the syntax for this? I thought this would give us like a byte array. What's the type of foo here? That's a slice. That seems reasonable. I wonder if it just doesn't like the unknown escape for /1. Oh, interesting. Um, how do you encode a 1? Um, OXO? OXO1? One, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Museum. That OXO1 isn't what you think it is. Yeah, you're right. It's this, isn't it? Rust hex escape is /u. Oh, I never used that. Okay. What is this then? I'm curious. That's a literal escape. It's a byte literal escape. Make that public for a moment. Don't care so much. Let's just panic for a moment. Okay. It's going on context. I would rather be able to get all keys. Okay. And not multiple bytes, which is how UTF-8 can be represented as a byte slice. Ah, what /u solves. Gotcha. Okay. So visual inspection, yeah, we do get the 0 and 1. Great. Okay. Wants it to be owned. It doesn't want this slice. Let's see. Cannot satisfy as FUA. The new ranges? I'm not familiar with the new ranges. The ones that didn't make it into Rust 2024. Morning, Sam. It's Makes them copyable and improves their API. Ooh. I did run into the copyable issue, I think, on this project. Interesting. That is cool. Oh, I wonder if this is what I was doing here. It's clonable here. No, that's not it. Whatever. Back to here. What's going on? Following. Okay, range keys. The following. I want to look at the range keys here. Range bound. Okay, where K is what? Azra, if you wait. Isn't this just this? Like it's a slice? Slice if you wait. Slice to array will cry. So this isn't like that, right? Azra, if you will work with array slices, vectors, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Array bound here. Is it because these are not slices? Like, if I did um, that slash, because it feels like it's the size of this array that's confusing it. Think of Azref as something that can be borrowed t, where t is uh, array view weights. That makes sense. Oh, KR. Okay, my type is off here. Our range bounds. So I need to be specifying the K here. My K is wrong. I don't think I have to provide. Interesting. Doing a reborrow would work. I want to see this. Okay, yeah, this isn't. I don't need this here. And I wonder why that didn't work. has slice data because now it doesn't have the array size on there. I wonder why the reborrowing didn't work. Because I didn't have a type definition on this side, which is why the reborrowing didn't work. Didn't know what to reborrow it into. Okay. Makes sense. I got it. We want to go with DB keys. Oh, interesting. It's constant, literally free. Is the reborrowing the same way? Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, so array slices code. It's really fancy. Let's take a peek. Is this the right place? Core array, yeah, as slice. Wow. It's yeah. As mutable slice. Yeah, compiler's doing. Oh, it didn't actually panic. Here, stop. We should just do the data archive tests. Let's say compile course. Compiler course on the return type, not the input type. Okay, so we're going to get the list of keys. Then we're going to verify that certain keys exist. So that the set of keys is only so large. It's like it's listening to me. Yeah. Uh, that's not correct, but it's interesting. Maybe like shard status or something, right? And what are we expecting? We're expecting database state, database info, each one of these actually. So we're expecting that there's at least 5 pages. Why does it want to delete page like that? That's weird. Okay. Maybe we use the actual keys here. Database info, checksum key. Yeah, we could do that. Doing a let A equals B. Okay. Foo A. Input type coercion, which has to take into account generics and how it is used in the function. Okay. When it's in the return position, it can only be one thing, or a return type. What a nightshade, dude. How are you? Okay, good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 different keys. Oh goodness, was that thing correct? And that data, yes, database info key is gone. And it was suggesting it to be deleted. Wow. Yeah, that is gone. Okay. So we have shard, double knot, etc. Okay. Coming down to mutate, can we know what some of these are? I don't think we have to panic stop anymore. We just let this be incorrect. So our length is going to be 4. I believe that's correct because it's one of each type. But I don't know the order. Let's see, it's going to be, actually we do know the order. Because it's going to be based on the numeric values in the keys. So it's going to more or less be sorted kind of natural by ASCII. Okay. So let's get our 4 different types of keys. Database state key. Shard. Let's see, what is our database name? Is it happy? It does look to be happy. DB3. Okay. So I have a state key, database info, a checksum key. And what is our checksum? Let's get that right. Database transaction ID key. Something let database page data key. Okay. Import. Mismatch types, fine. Transaction ID, okay. I don't know what the transaction ID is, do I? It is this guy here. Oh, this is the other type of transaction ID. So I don't think it's actually this one that I'm concerned about. It's one that's based on info from this. Hmm. And in order to be able to calculate the other, we would need to know what the time is when this is happening at. Tokyo lets us set the time for tests, doesn't it? As long as we're using a certain time in the actual code, because we need this in archive transaction ID, which is based off of a timestamp and the salt one and the iChange value. So we need to be able to control the timestamp for our test to be able to calculate this correctly. Do that with Tokyo. Ah, man, I did that forever ago. Tokyo. Gonna lurk. All right, nice shit, dude. A reasonable machine, yes. Things start paused. Okay. Okay, but can I set time? Okay. Sleep interval, timeout. Dance. Here we go. Actually, it's enough to know that it's paused. I think if it's paused, that's fine. Okay. Here's let's do mock standard ones. We urge people to use the Tokyo ones if they're using Tokyo because it integrates with their time scheduler. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so coming back down here on what was the start paused equals true. Interesting. Mock instant is your library for this. 0.8 million downloads. Yeah, wow. It's because you have awesome documentation, Museum. Um, but I don't want to use the current one. Now, this duration sends system now. Don't we want to, in order to be hooked into the Tokyo piece, we can't use the system time now. We have to use the Tokyo one, right? Yeah. Instant now. What was it I did forever ago? GitHub Tokyo dash RS, is it? Tokyo. Pull request. Author. Halsey. That's right. Okay. I can use yours, but use the global features so it's deterministic across possible multi-threaded tasks. Interesting. Now that makes sense. I wonder though, before I pull in another crate, if using. See, the trade off is being able to use multi threaded task scheduler, which I have found issues by using the multi threaded task scheduler as opposed to the current thread. Um, so I would like to continue to use the multi threaded piece, which means I would want to use your mock instant in order to set that up. Okay. A thread you can use local. Let's get rid of that and that. Okay. Oh, you updated this a month ago. Yeah, how does your mock clock actually work on internally? Is it using a global? Curious how this works. I see. Oh, just a mutex. Nice. You wrote it to test your Twitch bot, and other people have found it awfully useful. It's nice, those very specific utility crates like that. Okay, mock instant, and let's go back to the docs. Well, here at least. So where we are wanting to mock out. Interesting. Now, what do we want this at the top of the crate? Using the global one, of course. All right. We need the cargo toml and data archive, dev dependencies. What's that? Global system time error. Don't actually use the error bits at the moment. System time error. Fascinating. Okay, it is there. Oh, okay. You try to keep it in sync with standard. That's very nice. Okay, now let's go back to mutate. And here. Okay, now coming back here. So we set up the time. That's fair. That's fair. Starts at duration 0. I'm fine with 0. We could set it to like some now value, right? Or some duration that we know the layout of. You're using system duration, yeah? Got it. Okay. But if I wanted this to be... Actually, I didn't know that 0 existed there. That's interesting. It's just called reset. Yeah, if you re-export duration, then it's all at the same spot. Know that. Let's see. Wait, what was it? Mod Talk. At the current system time, so we could just use this, set it to that. Extract this to a variable. Let's call it now. Okay. Oh, will it? I thought it said it would get the current system time duration. Oh, because you're mocking system time. I see. Get the current system time duration. System not being the host system, like the real time system. Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's just go with 0 then. Now this here wants archive transaction ID. This needs to be the same values that are coming from the salt. So transaction ID salt1. And I change. Technically, I think this is correct because it's all 0 at the moment. Even this test, I don't think we need the system. We need the system time to increment. We just need to add a fixed point. Okay. Because you focus on determinism, system time in mock instant becomes monotonic. That's good for me. We need to order these. So which one happens first? Let's put this over on the right side. There we go. State checksum. C comes before S, so checksum first. State. And page data comes before S and T. I think that's the order. So we should have 4 keys. And the first one should equal. No, this is Asref. Page state transaction. Wow, that just saved me a lot of typing. And let's see if the test works. Oh, and I was last night I was looking at cargo mutants, reading through the documentation, and I saw that you don't want to use that in a way where some mutation could delete a system file. So I was looking into virtualization again. I came across Tart. Sorry, no dark mode. So Tart does virtualization on Linux. Sorry, on Macs, OS X machines, and it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick to set up and whatnot. Um, you can, I think it's really intended for like virtualizing Macs in Macs, but you can use like Ubuntu or whatever as well. So I was setting up a little image in order to be able to run cargo mutants across the code base and try that out. So it's used for them to do CI/CD to macOS targets. That makes sense. Makes sense. But it's pretty neat. It boots up a Linux machine pretty quick. I wonder if I have an example I could show. Oh, right there. Wow, it's like I planned that. Want to use the actual Apple hypervisor? I don't know how to use the Apple hypervisor, and I believe Tart is using the Apple hypervisor. If I look at their documentation again. Oh, oh, you were explaining the reasoning. Yes, perfect. Yeah. But yeah, it works. You log in. But yeah, I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun to get that working. Docker does run on silicone on the M1 stuff. Um, it has this experimental flag. Let's see if I can. No, that's great. Verifying Docker. Malware blocked. That's great, Mac. Thank you for protecting me from the evils of this world and whatever. Okay. Back to coding. Let's see what happened here. We dumped this. I don't need that dumped out anymore. On Docker Desktop stable, it does it via Rosetta 2. Was able to run, let's see, Docker Desktop. Oh my goodness. Everybody's got to pivot, man. Everybody's doing that. So, anyhow, what I'm looking for is they have the ability to run uh, ARM64 on M1 natively. They do everything else with Apple Silicon. Or sorry, with the Rosetta bits. But if your image is targeting ARM64, you can run at you know native-esque speeds. And I think they are using the same virtualization framework, but I'm not sure. Not for Rosetta, but just for the M1 or the ARM on M1, ARM on their M architecture. Goodness, how do you say that? They're yeah, ARM64 on their ARM hardware. Okay, we failed. Oh, at line wow, at 428. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would fail somewhere before that. So what differed? Oh, 497. 198, 0, 0. Oh, here. And that is. Because the transaction ID is a second off, isn't it? This page. Because how I'm using it. Timestamp. When we get a new archive. Epoch. Two big Indian bytes. That's interesting. This one is very different. Oh, it's because I take the reverse. That's right. It's the reverse. No? Here. Nice. Okay. Length is 4, and that works. Okay. Huh. We did not check the page, sorry, the values of these, but we do know that the keys exist, which is good. Okay. Hmm. Well, thank you for pointing us towards mock time. That worked out really well. And to reiterate, if you're wanting to test just instant based code, use the Tokyo one. Understood. I don't know that I do instant. I use instant in here. I mean, well, the only time I use is Unix Epoch. This is as instant as I get, right? Which technically is now, right? Instant's good at that. But I'm not doing differences in instant. So it's not like a game engine or anything where I'm trying to see how much time has passed between 2 points. These guys, that's gone. Oh, yeah. I think this worked out well because I do have a number of tasks that are running, and being able to keep flavor multi-threaded is useful for that, and that they're not like they're able to use more threads. I want to check the saved data is correct. Not sure what. Okay. Well, let's just contacts.db. Maybe that should be public. So I want to just call get on it. And then use db info at checksum. No, I want this to be. Actually, what am I expecting it to be? db info at checksum. That seems reasonable. db info at checksum. What is your key? Checksum key data. Okay. It says a transaction ID and page count. Oh, this needs to be serialized as well. Or the other one deserialized. I thought get would return the value deserialized. Huh, that's just a vector there. Oh, I'm using raw storage instead of storage. Why am I not using storage for this? Here it is. So the server has archive.db. Archive.db is just a wrapper around that. No, I missed something. You know what? I did have some good jokes the other day. Where'd they go? uh, Okay, here's one. My girlfriend said she wanted to split up because I act like a detective too much. Great, I said. We'll cover more ground that way. I love that one. Um, now let's see, going back to where I was. What was that? Sled. Yes, I know sled. There's error. There's storage. I thought I had a layer on top of this that would give me the deserialized values. Right, put, get, right, but this isn't it. This just returns value. Value being just, I think it's vector. Yeah, vector of U8s. Um, hmm, where did I put that code? It's not in raw db mod. So we have archive db, which has type storage. And this impulse storage, which has a raw storage, which has a set and a get on it. Okay, and a compare and swap. It's fine. I think we want to be using archive DB in this case. So where'd context go? Is this it? So why isn't this archive DB? That's just kind of a nice to have there. Okay. Does mean that this breaks. Maybe we should have both. No, we do db dot storage range keys. Import that. Okay. Yeah, I know. Wait, what? Really? It was the next line down. I just didn't see that. Oh my goodness. I am appalled. Okay. Let's leave that there. Wait. Archive. Archive. Yeah. You got fined by your. I'll read it in first person. I got fined by my homeowners association. Apparently, my house was covered in graffiti. I should have seen the writing on the wall. It's pretty good. And thank you for the follow. Okay. That's there. It comes back. Okay. So really, it's off of archive. I thought archived I get. This returns deserialized type. Perfect. I don't think we actually need checksumdb. Tempter, that's useful if we actually get to that point. No, Tempter set up everything. We actually need that because other things in here write to the path. Did you know that Einstein was a real person? All this time, I thought he was just a theoretical physicist. Nice. Here's one. If you lose your khakis in Texas, it means you can't find your pants. If you lose your khakis in Boston, it means you can't start your car. That one. Uh, There's a freebie. Where were we? Okay, so this. Say, I should have the right page count there. This is a long test. I need to extract some of this out. Yes. Really? Okay, great. Lovely. Let's see, what else do we get? That's the first one. Let's move this down. DB info checksum, take that. Out there. So we have our DB info checksum bit there. What is it whining about? Oh, yeah, because I. So here's DB info checksum. Database page key. That's now this here should be a vector of UAs, which is not page.data. The page data key should be this database page. Bytes, these bytes here. It's just empty bytes. What does a pirate from Boston yell? I don't know. What does a pirate from Boston yell? Ah. Oh, that's incredible. Okay. No R because of the accent to explain. Yes. Ah. Once upon a time, I had a brother-in-law that was from Boston. Was he from Boston? No, he was from Rhode Island, but he had this heavy accent. That's great. Oh, left is empty and right is just all zeros. Huh. Well, that's not good. It should have been saved. And that's why we do these tests. Okay. Interesting. So why is that not? Why is there no data there? My database state. Let's see. We should have been saving pages. Save database page. And that should have resulted in database page data key being set. That's what's wrong, right? Database page data key, yeah. Yeah, they do have such a weird accent. That's great. So it's just fun to listen to. So you're always trying to like figure out what the hell's going on. Like one time he couldn't find his garage door opener. And they call the, I don't know, let's see, my parents called it the clicker. I don't know why. He called it a beeper, but there's no R. So, and when he was trying to find the beeper for garage, I can't do that in accent. This is Challenger Deep, a theme here. You've heard clicker also, yeah. But when he was asked like looking for the clicker for this garage door, his garage, we just couldn't understand him. All right, so page DB page data done. Why isn't this getting saved? Commit database state. We should have come into here, process a transaction chunk, but we didn't because why? Transaction state. We're not returning early. Should have come into here, iterating over the chunk pages. Maybe we didn't set up the test correctly. Set database state. No, it was obviously there. Right? The key exists. So it did get to this point. Database page data key. This guy here. So this is that. But page data is empty? That makes no sense. DBG. Sure, page data key and page data and debugging. Just want this test. But oh, I was on mute. You mentioned bubbler a while ago. It also prevalent in that region. Interesting. Boston specifically calls soda tonic, which confused you because tonic water exists and is not that exactly. Here at mod 179, 178. This is not the value we're looking for. Unless it is. 54200. Okay, let's go look at our into DB value. Value, which is V into DB value. Okay, for vector view8. This here says from postcard. So I'm using postcard as a serialization here. I wanted something that was fairly light. I wonder whether or not postcard compresses All these zeros. Variable length data. Things special. I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Let's come back here. Let's just give this a little test. Or in keys. Yeah. Ordering. Seems like a job for the AI. For a vector of U9s. That's really confusing. Please do that. Huh. It just stopped. It's like, no. These are not going to work. Okay. Thank you. It's right. Oh my goodness. Okay. You're correct to think about serialization, deserialization in the context of into DB value and DB value. However, the specific implementation we are testing here is that this implementation specifically for vector view weights is an identity function. It takes a vector view weights and returns it directly. Yeah, okay. I wasn't paying attention. Thank you. So okay. Well, that's a stupid test then. We're gonna. So if we're just passing that through and it's just a vector view weights on that, then why is sled? So if it's not okay, thank you for helping. I'm going to reject that change. As you pointed out, we don't need to test it. Um, so I was looking at this here, and I was thinking, oh, you know what? But I didn't look here because we specialize it. So why is our test failing? Call set database page. We set the page. Debugging. We have page data. We know it's a lot of zeros here. We have the key. We have the data. Data at this point. Oops, wrong. Called set. Set. Call into DB value, which doesn't make sense for, well, it's just the identity function. Pass that through. So raw storage, we call put here. If we look at sled, maybe there's a bug in sled? Our sled wrapper? Yeah, 4096 there. Okay. It looks fine. Value. Insert. Let's see. I ordered food at a drive-thru, and before I got to the window, I knew they had forgot the straw for my drink. Before I turned into the what? Before I got into the oh man, I'm butchering this. I ordered food at the drive-thru, and before I got to the window, I knew they'd forgot the straw for my drink. Before I turned onto the main road, I checked the bag, and there was no straw. I guess you can call me Nostradamus. Is this on sled 270, 270 here? Value length 17. How did it go to 17? Here it's 4096. Here it is 17. What? This is bizarre. Oh, I spent $500 on a limousine. It didn't come with a driver. I spent all of that money and nothing to show for it. uh, yeah, I like that one better. I missed that one. Let's see what we got. 17. 17. So by calling into DB value, it is being changed. Wow, okay. Why? So all we know is that V is into DB value, and here the value type's the same. It feels as though Postcard is compressing this thing. 17 values, 17. 17 U8s here. I think here this into DB values isn't going to the right version. Oh, it should be going into this one because it's a vector of U8s. But maybe it's a slice or something else. How does Postcard store vector of U8s? Prefix encoding? That's what I thought, but I didn't look into seeing how they would do collections. Byte array. var int use size containing the length followed by the array of bytes. See, that's what I'm expecting. I'm just expecting to be 4097 bytes here. Well, plus the, well, var int use size. The 2 bytes, 4098. Struct variant. Hmm. It's interesting. So, into db value. Show us your bytes. Sixteen 4098. Yeah. Fascinating. Oh, you know what? For another day, though, I have to run to a meeting. I'm gonna have to raid and run. What? We've got a mystery on our hands. Lab 128 does compression on numbers. UTF-8 is essentially a Lab 128. Oh, interesting. Okay. Real. Take care. I gotta run. Next time. Bye bye.